welcome to the Powerplay, our social media only segment of Around the Wicket. I'm Neroli Meadows, Aaron Finch and Glenn Maxwell alongside me, two of the best to ever play the Big Bash. So I thought it would be a great opportunity to really hone in after we had a dramatic final with Mitch Owen doing insane things, 108 off 42 balls. What would you change about the Big Bash though?
I'd like to see an auction come in. Each team potentially has the ability to retain maybe 4 of their players, and then you say everybody else in the country, you're into an auction. I think that would create a great spectacle. We see it in the IPL, it's brilliant. Create evenness across the board, I think. And what it does give you as well is it gives you what the players are worth. So at times, depending on what your team needs, you might have to overpay for someone. But if it's an auction, that's generally what the price of a player is. So I like it.
In Australia, we tend to favour loyalty culturally. We like to know who's playing for our teams. You played a lot with the Renegades. You've always played with the Stars. What do you think about the loyalty factor, though, if you had an auction like that in the IPL?
There'd have to be, I think, a few more players retained. There's going to have to be...
But the list's only 18.
I understand that, but you've still got to have a way to keep your homegrown players in your home state. Still have that relevance.
You can still buy them in the
that's
auction.
fine, but the price is going to be obviously pushed through the roof. And Mitch Owen, after tonight, would be going for probably top dollar the way he's going and the way he can win your game straight off his own bat. So all of a sudden, if the Perth Scorchers pick him up, he's a long way away from home, having to start his, I suppose, BBL career somewhere else and play on different conditions. I think it's flawed. I like the idea.
It's not flawed.
It is flawed.
It's not.
Don't take it personally. It's okay.
No, it's not personal. But
so how does the overseas players come into that? Are they in the auction as well?
They're in the auction. Everybody's in the auction. So, all right, make it 5 players. Each team can retain 5 players, and then everybody else is back in the auction, and that accounts for internationals. If you're not available the whole tournament, you have to announce that like you do at the moment. So yeah, just free for all.
This feels like a bit like a Melbourne derby at the moment. What would you change, Maxie?
I'd get rid of the power surge. I think unless the power surge was introduced in international cricket, I think it's sort of probably lost its relevance. As a player, I think it probably misrepresents, I suppose, middle order batting. I think when you get picked for your country, you don't have that luxury of having those 2 overs in the back 10 to boost your strike rate, boost your score. And I think it's lost on the art of middle order batting to be able to find your way through those last 10 overs. I know it's great for broadcasters, I know it's great for fans, but until it's made an international rule, I don't think we should have it.
See, I was just saying, I thought the exact same thing when I was a player. I didn't like it for the reason that I was an opening batter, and most of my career, you do the maximum damage probably in overs 5 and 6 of the power play. So then you start not getting access to that, and you've got to restart your innings. And I found it really confusing as a captain as well at times. You just weren't quite sure how it was going to play out. But now I've moved into the other side, into the commentary box. I love it.
Side.
Yeah, I think that it provides entertainment right through an innings. It keeps games alive. Like if a team needs 15 and over, with a power surge up your sleeve, there's still half a chance. So for me, I understand what you're saying, but I like it.
Am I reading into what you're saying, that you're just that much more talented and it's making other people look better than what they actually are?
Yeah, that's true.
No, I'm saying that I'm saying that the middle order ability of players is lost in the fact that they can take the power surge, not have that skill like to be able to manipulate their way through the back 10 overs. I think they can start an innings poorly, call the power surge, and get away with a couple of boundaries to give themselves that rhythm. Where when you go up to the next level, international cricket, where they don't have that power surge, they don't have that available to them, and they get found out.
I think that coming in the middle order and being able to hit boundaries early, that's a tough skill. And that's why guys like Maxie, Tim David, they're so valuable around the world, whether it's for Australia, for their Big Bash, for IPL, doesn't matter. It's such a valuable skill and hard to do. So I agree with you in that regard. It can make players who don't play a high-risk game getaway to flies and makes their job easier.
People are getting a real insight into what it's like being friends with you. You will do dry-by after dry-by, but you'll be there to hug and give a little cuddle at the
A
end.
lot of the time, I disagree with him just on principle.
I know you do. You're an antagonist.
A lot of the time, I actually agree with him, but I just want to disagree to start
That's what I
a fight.
said.
He just wants to see a blow up, and he's probably going to get one at some stage.
Correct. Travis Head has come out from Sri Lanka. He obviously didn't play any Big Bash for the Strikers this year, which is a shame for fans. He needed the break between the tests. But he's come out and admitted, I won't play in the MLC, the American League, for example, this year like he did last year. He said Big Bash is now after IPO in Australia. My third team is what he called it. Is that reasonable, and do we need to create a space for more international test stars to be able to play in the Big Bash?
I think we definitely do. I think if there's any sort of gap, I'd love to see them playing. We saw the effect that Steve Smith had on his team when he came back, even Alex Carey when he came back for the Strikers, and how much they were buoyed by his presence there. And even having those guys on the mic and talking you through what's going on, even if they're coming off a heavy schedule with their test stuff, the fact that they can come, play 20 overs of cricket, enjoy themselves, have a bit of fun. Steve Smith innings, like next to Mitch Owens this tournament, is probably one of the best we'll see. It was on a slow wicket. To be able to get 120 after everything that's probably happened throughout the test summer, just missing out on 10,000 runs. It was amazing to watch, and the fact that he just keeps doing it. Every time he comes back for the sixes, he keeps offering something. And I think that was enough evidence in my mind that they need to be available a little bit more often.
Would you accept a shorter Big Bash in order to have them playing more often, squeeze it in, or how do we do it?
I think it's all down to the test schedule. I think as soon as there's a week or so gap, yes, it'd be lovely to see them play half the tournament, but that's just not going to happen with our test summer runs. We know we've got the Boxing Day test, which is in the middle of the start of the BBL, and then you've got a couple of tests straight after that. So there needs to be a little bit of give and take. I think post that last test, hopefully if there's a couple more games to go, especially if the Sydney test, the last one of the summer, you'd love to see the last three or four games of the BBL being played with our test stars.
Any closing thoughts, sir?
No, it's been good fun.
First time for everything.
That felt like an agreement. That was quite nice.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly.
We'll call it the Finch Maxwell Cup. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.